Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's February, but it's also the time that I start thinking about our curriculum for next year, even though we're just a little more than halfway through what we are already doing for this year. Surely I'm not the only homeschool mom that's like this. With that said, I'm going to show you all what's in this box, and I am super excited to share it with you. So if you have been around my channel for any length of time, you know that I love history. Love history. It is my favorite subject to teach and do in our homeschool. It just comes with so many amazing connections to our faith, but also just really great conversations come out of our history lessons. So I am going to show you what we're going to do for history next year. This is a curriculum that I first heard about from a really good friend of mine at church. We are very eclectic homeschoolers. I really adhere to a mixture of Charlotte Mason, classical, and just, I don't know, what I like to do, I guess. But with that said, especially with history, I love more of a classical viewpoint of history. And what that entails is that typically the classical model of educating in history is built on a 4-year cycle. So you have ancient history, medieval times, then you have exploration to about 1850, and then from 1850 to modern times. Those are the 4 ways that history is typically divided up in a classical model of history. And the way that that works is that you go through each year of history through those different time periods, and then you cycle back through. And each time you cycle back through those eras of history, you delve a little deeper into the history you've been exposed to previously. So that's basically the mindset behind a classical model for history. And I love that. I really, really love that because it allows me to do history as a family subject, but also to meet my kids where they are on varying levels and to really customize it for our family needs. And so I am going to share with you what we're going to be doing. Like I said, I first heard about this particular curriculum from a really good friend in my church. I also found out a friend of mine, Tony, at Our Thrifty Homeschool actually uses this history curriculum, and I got really excited and watched a couple of her videos as well. But I'm going to open this box and show you what they sent me. So I actually reached out to the company called Biblioplan, and I had never heard of them before. And this is our 8th year homeschooling, and I had never heard of this company before. But I'm really glad that now I have, because I really feel like this is going to fit the needs of our family. Now, after this video, if you're interested in any kind of flip through, let me know down in the comments. But also, if you're interested in looking to see if this is a good fit for your family, then I will stick a link to their website down below, and you can actually download, I think it's like 2 weeks free of their curriculum. You can go ahead and give it a try in your family now. It has 2 weeks worth of everything you would need to teach their curriculum. All these components I'm going to share with you, so you can really get a feel for what it would be like using this in your home. Now, this is their family guide. So remember I was talking about that 4-year cycle of history? Well, what's really cool about Biblioplan's history is that you have one family guide for K through 12. Okay, and what's awesome about this, and I'll kind of show you some clips here of what it looks like inside, but what's really awesome about this is that it lays out for you, it gives you ideas for read alouds, for readers, for each age group, for like their independent read alouds and stuff. So this is just an example of what the setup looks like in this book, and it's going to give you it's going to break it down by days. And this is a 3-day history program. You could do more if you wanted to, but it's set up to be 3 days. It breaks down what you read each day, what needs to be done each day, if there's a coloring page that correlates with it, if there's some kind of hands-on activity that goes with it, if you need to use the discussion guide. And the really awesome part is you can pull in any supplements that you want to. So examples would be the book Trial and Triumph, which we absolutely love, which is different important people throughout church history. It gives a little glimpse at their story. And so that's really cool. But also, if you love Story of the World like we do, it will actually tell you which chapter of Story of the World that will go with whatever you're learning. Now, the level that we are using, I showed you, we actually have never done medieval history. So this is actually their year 2 cycle. For whatever reason, we skipped this era of history. And so I wanted to make sure I did this. I also wanted to do it because it covers world history, but also church history, the history of the Christian church, and the fall of Rome to Renaissance. So, like I said, if you want to see more of this, let me know down in the comments and I can do like a flip through and closer look. But this is just basically an unboxing to share my excitement with you guys. The other thing that they have available is, depending on the level that your student or students are, they have what's basically a textbook that they have put together of history. So this one is the one for junior readers, which is actually like intermediate to middle school, I think. I can't remember. Oh, it's K through 6. Anyway, so I can definitely stretch this to use with my upcoming 7th grader for sure, because it tells me extra things to do in here. Now, the next thing that it comes with is it has a really great coloring book where you can make copies of different coloring pages for your kids while you're reading through the text. Works great for those younger learners. There's also these hands-on maps, which I love map work. Honestly, I really do. I feel like it gives a great visual. If you're a Story of the World user, this is nothing new. I feel like it gives a great visual for where you're talking about. It's one thing to talk about where all of this stuff is occurring, but it's another thing to actually see where it's occurring when you're talking about it. And so it has some different things that they would do, different places they label or color in the maps. So that is the map work. And again, it will tell you in the family guide on which days to do that. And the next thing is, this is called Cool History for Littles. So this is just questions you can ask to follow up on their retention with the reading for the day. And then it also gives some cool hands-on activities and also some globe fun activities, so you can look things up on the maps and stuff. The next thing is a timeline book, which again is another wonderful visual. Now, Story of the World has a timeline as well, but I am loving the timeline pictures in this. They're in color, they're a lot more detailed, and so you would just take those when you're talking about them, and your kids can actually paste them where they go in history. Okay, and the last thing that I have here is the Cool History for Middles. So this will be for my 7th grade son, and this is actually more of like a worksheet style, which is going to be great for just following up, making sure that he really retains the information. There are some other components you can grab as well. These are just the ones that I specifically wanted to use for next year. So while that was a pretty quick look, that is a look at what we're going to be using for next year for history. I am so excited about it. It is a very comprehensive view at history. It is not just tunnel vision, if you catch my drift. So I'm super excited about it. It is from a Christian perspective, and it covers everything. And so I'm really excited about the conversations that are going to come from this, especially to develop our children's Christian worldview. And so, yeah, if you have any questions or comments, put them down below. And I want to thank Biblioplan so much for sending me this curriculum, because I am literally stoked. I've actually gone through, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I have gone through and written down like Post-it note pages of Post-it notes of all of the read alouds and readers I am assigning my kids, or we are doing together as a family. So be waiting for that video. Thanks so much, guys, and have a blessed day.